let's talk about holiday weddings. So, we just celebrated the 4th, and it brought to my attention this conversation of holiday weddings. So, I know there were a lot of people who got married on the 4th, or a lot of people who got married around the 4th. I know people who've been married on the 3rd or the 5th, people who've been married all through the weekend. And so it really sparked a conversation with a lot of, my clients and a lot of you viewers and readers of the blog and our followers on social media about holiday weddings. And do I think they're a good idea? And should you even consider having one? So I wanted to talk about it a little bit more today because holiday weddings are tricky, to say the least. So here's my opinion. I think holiday weddings, when they are surrounding major holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving, those two specifically, I think they are not a good idea. Obviously, don't have a Christmas wedding, Christmas Day wedding, or a Christmas Eve wedding. I also would not suggest a December 26th wedding. December 27th is pushing it. I have planned weddings on the 27th before. I've attended weddings in that, week after Christmas time frame. So I think that can be acceptable. I even think New Year's weddings are acceptable. New Year's Eve specifically, I think is a really fun, if you're really into New Year's Eve, I think New Year's Eve is a great time to do sort of like a formal, black tie later in the evening, get dressed up kind of wedding. I think that's really fun. But Christmas Day, obviously Christmas Eve, big no-nos. Even the 26th. I also think Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving, not good. Obviously, your vendors aren't going to work on those major holidays, but then also if you do it the day after, that means most of your guests would have to travel on the holiday. And I just think that's a little bit inconsiderate. So that's my opinion on holiday weddings when it comes to like bigger holidays. So let's talk about what some might call, or what I would call smaller holidays. So I'm talking Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July. What about having your wedding around one of those holidays? Memorial Day and Labor Day obviously both fall on a Monday. So having your wedding the weekend preceding Memorial Day or Labor Day is always a great option. It gives your guests an extra day to travel. You can have a Sunday wedding and your guests can still travel home on Monday without having to take off. So I think those weekends, it's great. 4th of July wedding, I think, is one of those hit or miss ones, should we say. I think it depends on what day of the week, obviously, the 4th of July falls on. And I think it depends on your area. If 4th of July is a really big deal in your area, if there are lots of parades or local activities or things like that, then a lot of your vendors may opt to not work, to use that time to celebrate with their friends and family. So it can make it a little bit more difficult for you to book the vendors you want. If you're doing like a destination wedding and you're going to have your destination wedding over the full week of the 4th, and you just happen to get married on the 4th and your destination, I think that's totally cool. I even think the 3rd is okay. Like I said, I have friends who've been married on the 3rd before, and I think the 3rd is okay. People can turn it into like a 4th of July getaway. So I think the 4th is really hit or miss. If the 4th of July falls on a weekend, then test the waters. It wouldn't be my first choice, but I think you can do it. So that's sort of where I fall on holiday weddings. Your major holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, if you're Jewish, one of the nights of Hanukkah, probably not your best option. If you're talking something like New Year's Eve, Labor Day, Memorial Day, and by those I mean Labor Day and Memorial Day weekend, or a 4th of July weekend, I think you're totally okay. And you can definitely take advantage of maybe the longer weekend to host your wedding. The only thing that I would, be aware of is a lot of places do charge holiday rates, meaning you might pay a little bit more, but you are getting that extra day for your guests. So those are some of the pros and cons of holiday weddings and what I think of them. So if you have any opinions about hosting your wedding on a holiday, or if you've done it before, comment below and let us know. How did it go? What were some of the things that you encountered with planning a wedding on a holiday? Did it make it easier or more difficult for you? And were your guests, your out-of-town guests, did they attend or did they not? So comment below. I always love to hear from experience too. So have a great time. We'll see you next time.